KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. Happy Monday. It is May 13th.
Yeah, we have been tracking some potential for some severe weather this morning. So let's head over to Sarah Spivey, who has been working really hard to make sure we get the accurate timeline of when those storms are supposed to reach our area. Hey, good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, guys. Yes, we have got 3 severe thunderstorm warnings right now. We've got one for parts of Uvalde County. Uvalde itself getting a lot of heavy rain right now, maybe even some smaller hail. But there's this storm right here in Maverick County that's tracking to the northeast, going to be heading into Uvalde itself, and that's where we could see hail up to the size of golf balls. So these severe thunderstorm warnings, again, moving to the North Hondo. You should be aware here within the next hour that you could see this storm if it maintains its strength, although you're technically not in the warning area. Same with areas in parts of Kinney County near to Brackettville. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on some of these areas here for you so you can get a good idea of where the main hail core is. There's one hail core here just north of Batesville. Again, this could be up to about ping pong ball sized hail. This severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9:45. We've got this other severe thunderstorm here that's in parts of northeastern Maverick County. This is moving to the northeast. This is the storm that folks around Uvalde should really be aware of. That severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9:30. And then finally, another severe thunderstorm warning for areas in Kinney County nearer to Brackettville until 9:30. You can see that there's this area here of purples and blacks. That's where that hail core, golf ball sized hail or larger possible. Now these storms moving to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour could be in the Hondo area by 10 o'clock. If it continues to maintain its strength, this particular storm could be in northern Bexar County by 11:40. So we'll keep you posted. Again, for San Antonio, this is your timeline. Anytime from about noon to 4 p.m., that's when these storms are possible with severe hail. I'm going to be back to really get into depth about those hail cores, where they're headed, and what you can expect for the rest of your week, of course. Stephanie, Patty.
All right, I'll take it from here real quick, Sarah. And of course, you mentioned 90 right there. A lot of those towns along US 90 right there. So we will continue to keep in mind some of the traffic issues there. But as we take a closer look to the greater San Antonio area, things looking pretty good here. 281 San Pedro, traffic moving pretty well both directions there. I want to let you know about a couple of things that we're seeing right now on our maps. Biggest thing we're seeing right now is a stalled vehicle, Loop 410 eastbound at Babcock Road. Traffic backing up all the way to Bandera Road, a little bit past that as well. So keep that in mind if you're headed out on 410 eastbound at Babcock, maybe going to the 410 I-10 area. We have a stalled vehicle being reported 35 northbound and New Braunfels Avenue, not causing too many delays. This is for all of our drivers coming out of that 35, 37 downtown area. Citywide view of the map here, and everything else is looking pretty good. Again, we're not seeing anything really impacted right now by any sort of weather, but of course that's something that, as Sarah just mentioned, do anticipate that as we get closer to our noon hour here. We do have a stalled vehicle being reported Loop 410 east at Roosevelt Avenue. All right, ongoing construction issues here, far north side. Just want to let you know about some nightly closures that will be taking place through May 21st. So basically, for the next week or so, we're going to have these nightly closures, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. TxDOT right now is going to be shutting down the eastbound lanes of 1604 from Hardy Oak all the way to Bulverde Road, as you see right there. We're also going to have a closure of the 281 flyover ramps to the 1604 eastbound exit. So again, this is going to be through May 21st. And it's going to be in the overnight hours. So if you have to do something late tonight or early tomorrow morning, just be aware that you're going to run into some closures in that area. One more quick look here. TransGuide 281 St. Mary's, traffic moving pretty good both directions in that area. 35 New Braunfels Avenue, same situation there as well. Patty, Stephanie, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, RJ.
Here's today's 9 at 9.
The ping pong balls bounced favorably for the Spurs at yesterday's NBA draft lottery. The silver and black earned 2 top 10 picks in the first round, number 4 and number 8 overall. San Antonio earned Toronto's pick in the lottery after receiving a first-round selection from the Raptors at the 2023 NBA trade deadline for former Spurs center Jakob Poeltl.
The expected star witness in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial is set to take the stand today. Michael Cohen will testify against Trump about his role in paying Stormy Daniels $130,000 to keep her quiet about an alleged affair with Trump, an affair Trump denies.
Caps on credit card late fees have been put on hold by the federal judge. The federal rule, which would have limited late fees to $8, was supposed to take effect next week. However, business and banking groups have challenged the Biden administration's attacks on so-called junk fees.
Rent may be keeping the feds from cutting interest rates. Stubbornly high housing costs are a key part in propping up inflation, which in turn is stopping any rate cuts. Experts say inflation in housing costs is slowing down, but much slower than anyone expected.
U.S. Postal Service is now asking for a 25% hike for some high-volume shippers. If approved, it would go into effect in mid-July. At the same time, first-class stamps are supposed to go up a nickel to 73 cents.
Some school districts around the country are facing budget shortfalls and falling enrollment. That's expected to result in major teacher and staff layoffs in the coming academic year. Part of the problem is that money provided to school districts from the federal government during the pandemic are ending. That means some school districts will have a budget hole.
More people will soon qualify to apply for Social Security, thanks to a new rule that expands the definition of a public assistance household. Starting on September 13th, a public assistance household will include those receiving SNAP payments. It will also include households with at least one SSI recipient and at least one other household member who receives public income maintenance.
Google Wallet is getting rid of support for old Android and Wear operating systems. In a change taking effect next month, the payment service will require phones to have Android 9 or higher and smartwatches to at least have a OS 2.x. Google cited security as the reason for the change.
Another store within a store, around 200 Kohl's locations will be adding Babies R Us shops by this fall, in time for the holiday shopping season. The company says only one San Antonio Kohl's location will have a Babies R Us, and that's the one at Bandera Point. And that's today's 9 at 9.
Well, in your morning headlines, some seniors in high school had their graduations interrupted because of COVID. Now, some of the same folks are seniors in college, and once again, graduations are interrupted by this time, though, by protesters. Plus, we got lit up this weekend by the Northern Lights.
Some fast food places are already starting to get cheaper, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do when it comes to living arrangement. David Sears is here with our morning headlines. Good morning, David.
Ready?
This woman found one of the most unusual places you would ever imagine to live, have her little house.
Okay.
Nice little setup.
Where?
I can't tell you. We'll show you that in just a second. First, let's start with this. Protests taking place across the country this weekend. This time, the anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian protesters interrupt college and university graduations all over the country. At Duke University, protesters walk out when comedian Jerry Seinfeld took the stage. He is Jewish and has shown his support for Israel, but otherwise very non-political. During the Virginia Commonwealth graduation, more protesters when Governor Youngkin spoke, and Pomona College made the decision to move their graduation ceremony off campus for security reasons. There were also loud chanting protesters at the UC Berkeley ceremony. Usually, these lights can only be seen in the northernmost part of the world. However, the northern lights of that green and purple glow could be seen as far south as here in Texas. Millions of Americans got to witness the wonder of the universe. The Aurora Borealis spent the weekend shining bright. It was the biggest geomagnetic storm in 21 years.
The rapid fire of all these CMEs, coronal mass ejections, aimed at Earth and arriving at Earth is what drove the geomagnetic field to such an agitated state.
Oh, but as beautiful as the lights were, we're also warned that it can have an effect on power grids and electronics. John Deere, the big green tractor and lawnmower company, sent a press release out Saturday morning suggesting that the geomagnetic storm affected brands of GPS signals. Hey, if you have been to a fast food restaurant lately, like everybody else, the prices have gone up, and it Took a while, but that caused a lot of profits to go down. So now they are bringing down some of the prices on some items. Those golden arches have seen some red from some of the patrons. So McDonald's now offering a $5 value meal. That is after a Big Mac value meal, not so valuable at nearly $18 at some places across the country. $18 for a Big Mac value meal? Now you can get a value meal for $5. Of course, Wendy's has a $5 biggie meal. Burger King has a 2 for $5 option now.
I used to eat McDonald's a lot on the job sites. It's quick and easy and cheap, but not really anymore. It's not that cheap anymore. So I'm not really saving the money I thought I would by going to McDonald's or any sort of fast food.
All right, fast food prices in March, get this, 33% higher this past March than they were back in 2019. All right, let's take it to Midland, Michigan, and the home of a woman right there. This is her home. Yep, right here. See this? That's where she's living, right there. In that sign, the Family Fair grocery store sign above the grocery store itself. Apparently, it was high enough and deep enough for that woman to live in. She had an electronic outlet. She was able to have her coffee maker. She has a computer and even had a house plant. There was a small access door in the back of the sign, according to police. She was cooperative when they asked her to leave.
They had called the police a few times, but by the time the cops got here, she was already gone.
And as busy it is here all the time that no one would see her going up and down the building. So yeah, I wonder if she had a ladder back there or something.
Yeah, ladder. Some folks guessed that she was just going up and down by the pipe that was in the back. Not sure about a shower or a bathroom, but she didn't have to go far for groceries. And still not sure exactly how long she lived there, but apparently
the house plant was well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, closer to the sun.
All right, thanks, David.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Interesting.
Very.
The coffee maker. Coffee. Thank you, David.
Time right now, 9:09, 74 degrees out there.
So here's a look at what's coming up next.
Good morning. I'm here hanging out with some of my friends at the San Antonio Zoo. The nonprofit focuses on animal care, conservation, and education, and it's been operating for 110 years. How they are celebrating and new details on its gorilla habitat coming up next.
All right, looking forward to that. Let's take a look outside at live cam. A little cloudy. Roads are looking good right now, but beware, there are some storms headed our way, if not here already. We're going to check in with Sarah here in just a few minutes.
Welcome back. It's 9:13, so let's look out there with Zoo Cam with our friends, the flamingos, and we need to tell them that they are expecting rain. It's always a good day to go to the zoo, but maybe today definitely pack an umbrella, and some areas we might see some severe weather.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, it's a celebration at the San Antonio Zoo today as it celebrates its 110th birthday.
I know. Tiffany Huertas is there with the celebration and with a look at the future projects. Good morning, Tiffany.
Hi, good morning. We're making so many friends here this morning. Check it out. This is our other friend. Well, the zoo is going to give us more details on the latest exhibit that will house gorillas. And to have more information on that, we have Kyle. Good morning, Kyle.
Hi, good morning. Welcome. It's our birthday today.
Yes, happy birthday.
Thank you. I know it's the zoo's birthday. We just turned 110 years old today, so we have a fun-filled day of so many different activities for people to enjoy, but also special surprises along the way.
Tell us about this new interactive section here.
Absolutely. So this is like our Congo Falls viewing garden. So Congo Falls will open in 2025. We are not far away from the largest gorilla habitat in the nation being right here in San Antonio. But this viewing garden will show you previews that are never before seen, like the video rendering behind me, of what Congo Falls will actually look like. You'll get updates on the construction here. You'll have photo ops with these giant gorilla heads, which will actually go inside of Congo Falls when we open. But again, this is just a great place to see all the beautiful resources and what we're going to offer the gorillas that come to San Antonio.
That's looking into the future. Let's go back to the past. Tell us a little bit about the zoo for people that have never been here before.
Oh man, so we are 110 years old. We really are a staple of San Antonio, Texas, but we also got #2 in the nation last year. So we are really a powerhouse zoo, and anytime you're coming to San Antonio, you definitely have to visit the zoo. But again, 110 years is a legacy. Really, a legacy of conservation and education is what we've built here at San Antonio Zoo, but we invite everybody to be part of it because we are a nonprofit. So your ticket actually purchases and helps us fund conservation efforts around the world. So again, while you are enjoying yourself, while you're learning about gorillas, while you're celebrating 110 years, you're helping animals all around the world while doing it.
And there's passionate people like Kyle here, and they're so knowledgeable. Thank you, Kyle. And tell us just before we go, what is this drop-off location here?
So this drop-off location, if you have a device, whether it's a laptop or a cell phone, you can drop it off right here at San Antonio Zoo, kind of like that iPhone 3 that you don't even know what to do with anymore, but T-Mobile won't take. So bring it here to the zoo because it helps us with this conservation effort. We've raised over $20,000 for gorilla conservation around the world, which is incredible. But again, gorillas are coming back for the first time in 30 years. We can't wait to invite you back to see them with us.
Oh, thank you, Kyle. I'm so excited to be here and make more friends. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you. We can't wait for that exhibit next year.
Yeah, I can't wait to take the kids there. They'll be excited, although they still miss the elephants.
Oh, I know. I know.
They'll be back, though.
They will be back. Well, time now is 9:16. Of course, it's been a busy weather morning, or it will be.
I want to get to the radar right now because we do have some severe storms west of San Antonio. These severe storms are capable of producing hail. And in San Antonio, I really want you to be on alert for severe weather after 11 p.m. But for areas that are in these severe thunderstorm warnings like Sabinal, you need to be inside and away from windows because of the potential of hail. This severe thunderstorm warning until 9:45. So we have got several severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. I'm going to go ahead and take off the lightning here just so that you can see these hail cores a little bit better. Uvalde, even though the city is not technically under a severe thunderstorm warning right now, you've got severe thunderstorm warnings all around you. I think it's a good idea to be inside and away from windows in Uvalde. Also near Brackettville. Let's go ahead and zoom in closer to Brackettville. This particular storm capable of up to quarter-sized hail. The severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the next 15 minutes or so until 9:30. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you just how these storms are producing some hail here. We're going to draw this box right over Brackettville, and I'll tilt this storm, and you can see just how tall it is, and we can actually isolate the hail core here. So we've got a smaller hail core right over Brackettville, but again, I do think that we could easily see up to about golf ball sized hail for the Brackettville area. Let's go ahead and move this box a little bit closer to those Uvalde storms and the Uvalde County storms. You can see that we do have some hail here. It's not as prominent as it was about 30 minutes ago, but these storms are capable of producing that hail up to the size of golf balls. And this particular storm right now that's working its way through parts of Zavala County is producing hail right now. And you can see just how much taller that hail core is than those hail cores that are off near toward Brackettville. So this particular storm, I really want folks near Sabinal to be inside and away from windows because this storm is capable of producing very large hail as it moves northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So as we zoom in a little bit more, and what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put on the tracker. It'll be in southern Uvalde County here by about 9:50, 10 o'clock, southern Uvalde County. So I think this main hail core is going to miss the city of Uvalde, but it is still one of those storms that we want to be very aware of. If it can hold on closer to Sabinal, if it can hold on to its strength, these storms are going to pulse up and down, but if it can hold on to its strength, it would be near Sabinal by about 10:45 this morning. So again, Sabinal, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning. I would be inside and away from windows. Hondo, a lot of folks watching us out in Hondo right now. It's not raining, but this storm capable of about quarter-sized hail will be in your neighborhood by about 9:50, 10 o'clock this morning. So again, please be aware this cluster of storms is forming ahead of a cool front, which will move on through later today. So this cluster of storms is moving to the northeast. Again, it could be in Bexar County area if it can hold on to its strength, and all indications are that it will hold on by about 11:30, 11:50 this morning. I'm going to draw the area where I feel like the storms are most likely within the next couple of hours. So we're not seeing too much development down south of this cluster of storms. So pretty much this entire area that I'm drawing right here has the risk for hail in the immediate next couple of hours. As I zoom in, we can see which neighborhoods in Bexar County and closer to San Antonio are included in this area. Leon Springs, Hollywood Park, Leon Valley, Lackland Air Force Base, Medina Lake area, Bandera, Bernie, Kerrville, Comfort, Lakey. All of these areas have the risk, not the guarantee, but the risk for severe weather. So what I want to do right now is I want to show you the timeline and the storm chances. Pretty much anytime after 11 a.m. through about 4 p.m., that's when the severe storms are going to be possible with the risk for hail. And the Storm Prediction Center agrees until 4 o'clock, there is a severe thunderstorm watch, which means we're watching out for these severe storms. They'll be capable of the possibility for hail, potentially even tennis ball sized or greater. There's that much energy in the atmosphere that we could really get some larger hail with this, and some strong winds as well. Winds up to about 60 miles per hour plus is the secondary threat, but hail is the primary threat. And you can see that laid out here. For Monday today, hail, there's a pretty decent risk. If you get a severe thunderstorm, you are going to see some hail. The secondary risk there would be winds, damaging wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour, and the chance in your backyard is about 40 to 60%. Keep that in mind. Not everybody's seeing severe storms, but they are going to be possible after 11 o'clock through the afternoon. We'll only get into the mid 80s, but by about the evening commute, I think a lot of these storms are going to be done. So that is the good news, but please check the radar before you head out this afternoon, because you would hate to get caught up in a storm, and we'll keep you posted. Again, this is all because of a cool front moving through later on today. That's going to consolidate these storms, spark off some more. That'll move through by about 4 o'clock. And we'll be looking at pretty much a hot week, 94 tomorrow with slightly less humidity, 40% chance on Thursday for some storms as well. But today, the main window from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll be back.
Hey, welcome back. It's graduation season, and this morning we are applauding a local high school senior who has had a long and difficult journey to reach graduation day. The 18-year-old from Clark High School says she couldn't have done it without the help of all her teachers who've helped her along the way.
You don't have to search far to see where Hajar Abdulman gets her determination.
My mom left her family, left everyone to save us, me and my little sister. It's kind of difficult. It was hard for her, but she made me and my siblings stronger and believe in ourselves.
The Syrian-born immigrant was 5 when a war broke out. For 2 years, her family lived in a school made into a shelter.
It was very difficult because we didn't have food or drink, water to drink, clear water. I remember running with my little sister to go get water from the river and come back and drink it. But it was very scary.
With the nearest hospital destroyed in the war, Hajar and her sister needed to leave Syria to get life-saving medical treatment.
We kind of escaped from Syria to Turkey. And when we went to Turkey, they did a little test to check if we're actually sick. And the test came positive. We stayed in Turkey for about 3 years.
Still needing a bone marrow transplant, the 11-year-old was able to come to the United States as a refugee.
With my family, they believed in me and they told me, you'll learn English.
When we look at her journey, it's definitely one of perseverance. It's one of not giving up.
Paige Vetter is one of several teachers that have helped Hajar through school. She also knows her family and feels a close bond with them.
She is got a heart of gold. So again, the type of student that you just wish you could copy paste and have a whole classroom full of.
In 1 month, Hajar will walk the graduation stage. At one time, her goal was to become a doctor and help kids like her, but that's changing.
I'm not really sure, because I'm like kind of tired of like going to the hospital and stuff, to be honest. Like I always go to the hospital like every 3 weeks.
It was our honor and it was our joy to teach Hajar.
One thing's for sure, the Clark High School grad is full of gratitude to everyone who's been a part of her journey.
And as you saw, I mean, she's just so devoted to making sure that she does this not only for herself, but for her family.
And it's awesome. Well, I mean, I'm sure she's making them proud. And congratulations, because, yeah, just 18 years old and already been through so much.
Yeah. And you know, when we do these stories, every student has such a great story to tell about perseverance.
Yes. And I like to hear from the student, and you like to hear from the teachers and the community, like what they have to say about the student as well. So, yeah, great story.
All right. Thanks. Time right now is 9:29, 75 degrees out there.
Well, there's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9, but before that, we are talking lawnmowers if you're in the market for one. We're going to speak with a Consumer Reports expert about the difference between gas and electric lawnmowers and which one is better for you. Welcome back. It's 9:32. Let's look out there with live cam. Yeah, kind of gray right now, but calm compared to what we will be seeing very soon, Sarah.
That's right. By 11 o'clock, I think we're going to have some severe thunderstorm warnings for Bexar County. Right now, though, we've got the severe thunderstorm warnings west of Bexar County for areas like Hondo, near Uvalde, Sabinal, just north of Batesville. These storms are capable of producing hail of various sizes. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the lightning here just so that you can get a clearer picture of these hail cores. We've got this one new severe thunderstorm warning that includes areas like Hondo, Castroville, Natalia, Rio Medina. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 10:30. Now, this hail core right here, well south of Hondo, is capable of producing quarter-sized hail. But we've seen these storms increase in intensity and even produce the potential for up to baseball-sized hail, like down near La Pryor, just north of Batesville. So I want you to be aware that that is a possibility. But right now between Yancey and, I hope I'm saying this right, Beery, that's what I think how you pronounce that, this is right where we have got the quarter-sized hail falling right now. This one core is moving to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So if it can maintain its strength, it would be in Castroville, your backyard, by 10:20 this morning. So keep that in mind. Castroville, you're within this severe thunderstorm warning. You should be inside and away from windows at least for the next hour or so until the warning expires. It's this severe thunderstorm that's moving northeast that I think will eventually prompt a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Bexar County. So please be aware in Bexar County that over the next couple of hours, there is going to be the risk for severe weather. The strongest storm we've got going on right now is working its way well south of Uvalde, just to the north of Batesville. Now, this storm is very strong. This is the storm that earlier was capable of baseball-sized hail. As I turn on the 3D here, you can see just how tall this storm is, reaching about 60,000 feet. Inside of this storm is a hail core. Here's the hail core right now, this area of purple, very tall. What we've got is we've got storms. This storm is lifting the hail up way high up into the atmosphere at about 50,000 feet, and it's producing very large hail, potentially up to the size of baseballs. This storm is moving northeast into an area that is relatively low population. There's not too many cities in this area in southeastern Uvalde County, but it is still an important storm for us to pay attention to, especially if you live north of Batesville, particularly on High Fence Road. That's where we've got some of that very large hail falling right now. So if you are north of Batesville on High Fence Road and in between Batesville and Uvalde, you need to be inside and away from windows. Again, baseball-sized hail possible there with that storm. These storms, once again, moving northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So we're going to be keeping our eye on things as they start to move into the San Antonio metro area. Hail is the primary threat today, followed by gusty winds. I'll be back to look at the radar more in depth and tell you what you can expect for the rest of the day and when our storm threat will be over. Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, if you're in the market for a new lawnmower, you may be going over the pros and cons of a gas versus electric lawnmower.
And for the average lawn, a fully charged electric walk-behind mower will finish the job same as a gas one. That may come as a surprise to gas mower owners who have hesitated to switch based on fears that an electric mower can't tackle the job without having to recharge it.
Well, Consumer Reports put them to the test, and joining us this morning to talk about their findings is Paul Hope, a home and appliance writer for Consumer Reports. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Hey there. Walk us through the differences between gas and electric mowers.
Sure. So, they look a lot alike, as you've probably noticed if you've ever been shopping for them. But obviously, the biggest difference is where they're getting their power. So gas mowers naturally run on gasoline. Electric mowers typically run on batteries now. Those are really the models that we're most interested in. And as you said, what we're finding is that a lot of manufacturers are putting major energy into improving their battery mowers. They really think that's sort of the future of where this industry is going. And so our tests have found that year after year, battery mowers are just getting better and better and better. And they've really been nipping at the heels of gas for a long time. Right now, they're at the point where, in many cases, the best battery mowers are actually as good, if not better, than the best gas mowers.
Well, very good. But how does Consumer Reports test lawnmowers? So how do you compare the gas versus electric mowers?
Sure. So we actually hold electric mowers to the very same high standard that we hold gas mowers to. We start our testing very early in the year. We actually ship a whole crew and all of the mowers down to southernmost Florida. And we do that because it's one of the few places in the country where we can actually get grass to test to grow that early in the season. So we get all the new models for the year, bring them down there to test so that folks in most of the country can have up-to-date results. So we look at things like how evenly all the mowers cut, how effectively they can bag grass clippings, whether they can mulch well, shoot clippings out of the side discharge chute. And then we also look at things like noise, handling, ease of use, and really put them head to head. And again, what we're finding is that in many cases, those key performance tests, the battery mowers are really performing as well as the gas. And in a lot of ways, they actually outperform them. As a group, they tend to be much quieter. They're much easier to own and maintain because obviously you don't have to mess around with gas. And they start instantly too, which is really a nice plus.
And here's something else we want to know. Did either type edge out the other for certain types of scenarios? Let's say you have a small lawn or you have a big yard. Where do you go there?
Sure. So, one of the most important considerations if you're trying to choose between the two types is just to really look at your own yard. Our tests find that in general, a decent battery mower can cut at least a quarter acre of grass on a single charge. That's great for a lot of people. If you have more land than that, though, you do have a few options. So obviously you can pause and recharge. But what we're finding with battery mowers improving isn't just unique to mowers. So string trimmers, chainsaws, leaf blowers, those tools are all also moving towards battery platforms. And that means that if you want to buy a battery mower and you want to, say, throw in a few other battery-powered lawn tools, if you get them from the same brand, in general, even if the mower doesn't have enough charge to cut your grass in a single pass, you can just steal a battery out of the chainsaw or leaf blower or whatever else, pop it in the mower, and finish the job without having to wait for a second battery to charge.
Right. Well, what does Consumer Reports recommend for comparing different models?
Sure. So, again, you really do want to consider your lawn and your needs. Obviously, if you've got acres and acres of grass, you're probably still going to be best served by a riding mower. It is true that they make battery riding mowers, and we've tested some really stellar models. But at least right now, you'll typically pay a pretty big premium for a battery riding mower over a gas riding mower. So, the payback isn't necessarily there. But if you've got a smaller yard, it really, in a lot of cases, does make sense to upgrade to electric, because even if you pay a tiny premium for, say, a battery push mower, what you'll save in gas and frustration over the years makes it more than worth it.
All right, thanks, Paul. Hope from Consumer Reports. What we're really looking for is one that knows when the yard needs to be trimmed, takes itself out of the garage, and then does it.
Yeah, maybe next time. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Well, our San Antonio Spurs were winners once again in the NBA Draft Lottery.
San Antonio will get to 2 picks in the top 10. David and RJ are back to break it down.
Oh, yes.
So this means next year the Spurs should be mowing down the competition. Whether it's electric or gas, it doesn't matter. Just mow them down, baby.
Just as long as it's Wemby power, David. That's
there we go. I like that.
Yes, let's get it going. All right. No excuses now, right? In the upcoming NBA draft, after the Spurs went ahead and snagged the 4th pick, that was their pick. And then they got Toronto's pick, David.
Wow. How bad does Toronto feel today? Do they feel really bad? They tried to tank the end of the season, and then they end up not even getting a top 5 pick, not top 6. They ended up with, they get like 9 or something?
You know what, David? It is the basketball gods saying that what Toronto did at the end of this year was just wrong. Yes, they blatantly tanked to not have to give this pick to the Spurs, and look at what happened. They ended up giving the pick to San Antonio.
And what's amazing is Atlanta didn't have that big of a chance to get the number 1 pick, and here they jumped in. They're like the lowest opportunity to ever win the number 1 pick.
Yes,
so,
Atlanta, I think it was a 3% odds for the Hawks to get the number 1 overall pick in the in this upcoming NBA draft. But, you know, David, we were looking at the potential crop of players here, and not much of a difference between 1 to 5.
Well, and this is what all these mock drafts, you know, these are going to come out, and then they're wrong about half the time anyway. But so far, they've got the Spurs picking 2 guards on a lot lot of drafts.
Hey,
and I think the NBA.com kind of like summarized a bunch of them, and they've got, well, they've got Nikolai Topic,
okay,
coming to San Antonio,
right?
And then they've got a kid named Dillingham, Robert Dillingham, who's another guard. He's from Kentucky. However, there's also the chance that they say that Topic could be going to Houston ahead of the Spurs, so that would leave them with Reed Shepherd, who's a Kentucky guard. So they have the Spurs either taking Topic or 2 Kentucky guards.
Yeah, which I like both Kentucky guards. By the way, interesting full circle moment here. Reed Shepherd, David, his dad, Jeff Shepherd, was the most outstanding player here for the Final Four that was played in San Antonio back in 1996. Kentucky also a championship there. So yeah, Jeff Shepherd, his son Reed Shepherd now.
And we have the Kentucky connection in San Antonio, winning the tournament. So very interesting, very interesting. And the question now is, will they actually keep both the 4th and the 8th pick?
Okay, I'm saying that they should not. I'm saying that they should try and trade one of these picks. And my thought process here is that, look, if you're going to try and trade and maybe bring in a big-time player, maybe a Trae Young, maybe a Devin Booker from Phoenix, then you know what? This is going to be the worst that the Spurs are going to be in the Wemby era, hopefully. So hopefully we see the Spurs get better. They're never going to have picks this high, so might as well cash in right now while you can and get yourself a big-time player.
Here's the thing you got to wonder about, though. They had Devin Vassell, a lottery pick, 20. In 21, it was Joshua Primo. In 22, it was Jeremy Soham. In 23, it was Victor Wembanyama. Now they got 2 picks in 24.
It's a lot of lottery picks.
All those years, they didn't make the playoffs. Every lottery pick they have not. So now they've had, 6 in 5 years if they keep them both?
Yeah.
They better make the playoffs. I mean, there's going to be some people like, what do you guys do? I mean, seriously, you got to look at it and go, hey, that's a lot of draft picks from the lottery. Top 11 picks or top 14 picks.
I think we are running out of excuses in this organization. Of course, Wemby got his Rookie of the Year award over the weekend, so that is just the beginning for him. And now it's just about adding pieces around Victor Wembanyama. We'll see if they keep the current guys there, maybe move some guys out, bring some other guys in. But I think the honeymoon is over here for the Spurs.
And they still have first-round picks later on. They got 25, 26, 27 first-round picks from Atlanta. They got a lot of picks. They need to make some trades. They need to get a whole lot better, a whole lot quicker, and they need to get into the playoffs so Stephanie Cerna can start smiling a whole lot more often.
Thank you.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about some more frowns next season. I'm not going to look forward to seeing those frowns. I want some smiles from Stephanie, so
thank you.
Let's go.
Yes, go Spurs, go. Go Spurs, go. I agree, David. Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with some more news after this.
Hi folks, welcome back. We are continuing to track the fact that there will be a hail risk pretty much in San Antonio from 11 a.m. to about 4 p.m. But hail is currently falling in some of these storms west of San Antonio. We've got several severe thunderstorm warnings, one for Medina County until 10:30. We've got another severe thunderstorm warning for parts of southern Uvalde County until 10:45. Yet another one for parts of Zavala County until 10 o'clock this morning. And then one for northern Uvalde County until 10:15. These storms are generally moving northeast at about 20-25 miles per hour, and they are capable of fairly large hail. Now, this one storm that's moving through areas in Medina County, just south of Hondo, just south of Castroville, it's capable of up to about quarter-sized hail, and it's moving northeast at 20-25 miles per hour. There's the hail core right there. Again, with it moving northeast at about 20-25 miles per hour, it'll be in the Castroville area by about 10:16. But in San Antonio, you'll start hearing some thunder here very shortly as these storms are right on the edge of the county. So I do expect a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Bexar County within the next 30 minutes or so. Keep that in mind. But the strongest of these storms right now is working its way through northern Zavala County and parts nearer to Sabinal, just south of Sabinal and just south of D'Hanis. This core, this black color that you're seeing right here, that is up to about tennis ball sized hail that's moving northeast. So Hondo, I want you to be on alert, particularly for this hail core right now just south of D'Hanis. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the 3D radar here, and we're going to draw this box right over this storm. That is currently moving northeast at 25 toward Highway 90, toward areas between D'Hanis and Hondo. And you can see the hail core is fairly tall. I'm going to go ahead and turn on that hail core there. And it is fairly tall. It's not nearly as strong as it once was, but this could produce golf ball to potentially even tennis ball sized hail that's moving northeast toward D'Hanis and Hondo. That is one of the stronger storms that we're dealing with. The other stronger storm that we're dealing with is in northern Zavala County, just north of Batesville, kind of moving over ranch land right now. But you can see just how much taller this hail core is than even that one that's headed toward D'Hanis. So again, these storms are primarily producing large hail, but they're going to be moving into the San Antonio metro area here very shortly. Take a look at this storm that's right over Devine. It's not technically severe yet, but it will be very shortly. And it'll push in areas like Somerset fairly soon. Let's go ahead and put a tracker on this. Again, moving northeast at about 20-25 miles per hour. So it'll be in areas like Lackland Air Force Base by about 10:50 this morning. As far as our timeline goes for areas in San Antonio, and the risks today would be primarily hail, but damaging wind gusts are a secondary risk. And again, the hail could potentially grow larger than the size of tennis balls, or up to the size of tennis balls. Here's that timeline by the hour, starting at 11 and pretty much lasting until 4 o'clock. That's our window for severe weather with hail today. And the Storm Prediction Center agrees. They've issued a severe thunderstorm watch until 4 p.m. Right after the show, we're going to be live on the KSAT Weather Authority app tracking these storms. Please join us there on KSAT.com, and we'll interrupt coverage as necessary on KSAT. We will be live on the KSAT Weather Authority app tracking these storms as they move into San Antonio, capable of large hail. You can join us there for free. And of course, we'll be on air as needed as well.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for joining us, and be careful out there.
We'll see you later.